Hi, I'm Layla from Washington, and I have a really personal story to share today. But before I do, please like and subscribe. My mom gave birth to identical twin daughters, me and my sister Elise. So, of course, my parents dressed us in the same clothes and braided our hair with matching ribbons. But people could easily tell us apart for one reason. Elise was born with a minor facial distortion. Her eyes were a little lopsided, and her mouth was almost as low as her chin. I, on the other hand, looked like a freaking porcelain doll. And everywhere we went, people would ooh and ah at me. She's just too lovely to be real.
Wow, look at those brown eyes.
I have the same color eyes.
But everyone ignored Elise, and it really got to her. I kept telling her she was just as pretty as me, but she wouldn't hear a word of it. And as years passed, my sister grew to hate me. Elise did everything she could to make me feel as sad and angry as she felt. She'd spread rumors about me at school, steal my diary, and once she'd tried to shave off my eyebrows. I was living in fear, 24/7. Worst of all, my parents didn't take it that seriously.
I'll take away her electronics for a week.
That's not enough, Dad. Elise is trying to ruin my life. What if she tries to seriously hurt me?
Oh, Layla, that's silly. Elise is just going through a phase and we would never let her harm you.
They didn't understand, and when I turned 14, things really turned upside down. One afternoon, I came home from school to find Elise in the living room with my parents, and they looked furious with me.
How could you do something like that, Layla?
What are you talking about?
Elise said you locked her in the closet for an hour. We heard her calling for us.
What? Just then, I saw Elise, and she was smirking at me.
I just don't think I feel safe around Layla anymore, Mommy. How can I trust her after what she did?
Guys, she's framing me. She locked herself up in the closet.
And why would she do that? That's just twisted, Layla.
Didn't my parents see how crazy Elise was? Not one of them talked to me that night. They all watched Luna Avatar with a bowl of popcorn while I stayed in my room. But the next morning, my parents did the unthinkable. They made me move into the guest house.
It was Elise's idea. You two need space away from each other. We can't have this negativity in the house.
So you're kicking me out? What, because I trapped her in the closet? I told you guys I didn't do it.
It doesn't matter who did it. The point is, you two are toxic for each other right now. And at the moment, Elise needs our attention more than you do. You have more friends and the world at your fingertips. It's just for a short time, Layla.
I was speechless. I was being punished for literally nothing, and it was all Elise's fault. I moved into our guest house that evening and didn't speak to any of my family members. In fact, I continued to ignore them for the next several months. Sure, it was clear Elise was much happier without me in the house. She made more friends and even picked up a few hobbies. But I was still bubbling with anger. One day, I was coming out of the supermarket when I saw a homeless boy outside with dyed turquoise hair. I immediately pulled out a bag of bananas and some change, but he just laughed.
Whoa, do I look like a beggar?
If I'm being honest,
These clothes are just really old.
I still insisted that he keep the bananas, and the two of us ended up having lunch together. I found out the boy's name was Easton, and he lived in an apartment down the block. He was also an absolute sweetheart. I told Easton all about my home situation and Elise's issues with me, and he had a brilliant idea.
Pretend to run away from home, leave at midnight, and leave a note. Turn off the location services on your phone, and you can stay at my place. They'll get so scared they'll beg you to move back in with them. They might even finally punish your jerk sister.
I was sold. My whole family deserved a little scare, so that night, I sent a text to both my parents to tell them my plans and switched my location to private. I spent the next 2 nights at Easton's apartment. His family was really poor, and I had to sleep on a torn cot, but I felt fantastic. My parents were probably going crazy.
Maybe they think you joined a gang.
Or they think I'm pregnant and ran off to get married. Unfortunately, the fun didn't last long. The next morning, my parents burst into Easton's apartment with several cops. They hugged me and cried for a moment, but then they were furious.
Why would you scare us like this? We had no idea what was going on.
Sorry, but you kicked me out for no reason, and then neglected me for 6 months. I needed to teach you a lesson.
Teach us a lesson? Layla, we know the living situation isn't perfect, and we know we haven't been giving you as much attention, but just disappearing like you did. That's crazy behavior. Come with us right this second.
After that, Mom let me move back into the house, but she watched me like a dog. Elise even suggested I shouldn't leave home without her escorting me, and my parents agreed. Luckily, I could still hang out with Easton, who was the only person who seemed to care about me, and it turned out we'd even be going to the same high school next month. On my first day of 9th grade, I was in gym class when Easton started jogging next to me.
Whoa there, you look ready to faint. Here, take some of my water.
Oh God, is it that obvious?
Don't worry, you still look lovely, even though you're drenched in sweat.
Easton smiled at me as I drank from his water, and I felt a little weak in the knees, and not just because I was tired. I saw Elise glare at me as she jogged by, but I didn't care. As months passed, Easton and I just got closer, and whenever Elise was mean, he always defended me.
You can make fun of Layla's dress all you want, but she's the one who got a party invitation, and you didn't.
Secretly, I had the biggest crush on Easton, but I was way too chicken to ever tell him. I was just grateful to have a best friend. It was exhausting living with a bully 24/7. Then, one day, when I came home from school, my parents gave me shocking news. They'd found a plastic surgeon to fix Elise's facial distortion. They couldn't completely get rid of it, but I'd never seen my sister so happy.
I felt so ugly my whole life, Layla. I know it sounds shallow, but I can't wait to be as beautiful as you.
Elise, look at me. You've never been ugly. But if getting this surgery makes you feel more confident, then I support you. Elise started to cry then and hugged me. I stayed with her in the surgery room the entire time, and she even apologized for how she treated me. And I was glad. I was ready to give up our crazy fighting. After Elise's surgery, things changed between us. Elise didn't seem jealous of me anymore, and even started hanging out with me and Easton. Then, one day, I walked into my front yard and almost had a heart attack. Elise was kissing Easton. Hey, does someone want to tell me what's going on here?
Well,
Layla, I've been meaning to tell you. Easton and I like each other, and I asked him out.
I felt like I was gonna throw up. I pulled Elise aside angrily. How could you do this to me? Elise, I love him and you know it.
I know you love him, and I'm sorry, but I've been hanging out with Easton for a couple of weeks, and we have a connection.
How could you do this to me? Elise, I love him and you know it.
Layla, I'm not trying to hurt you. I really like Easton, and I just want to be happy for once.
I can't take this anymore. You made me miserable for 14 years and then got me kicked out of my own house and convinced Mom to basically ground me for 24/7. This is the last straw. I stormed off and blocked Easton on all social media. He kept calling me to apologize and tell me that him dating Elise wouldn't change our friendship, but I refused to speak to him. The next day at school, I decided it was time for overdue revenge. The first thing I did was attach a bucket of paint to the cafeteria doorway, and when Elise walked in with Easton, pink splashed all over them. Everyone laughed like crazy, and I felt great. I got suspended for a day, but it was worth it, and I didn't stop there. That entire month, I pulled every prank I could think of on them at school, putting spiders in their locker and gluing their butts to the classroom chairs. I felt guilty for being a jerk, but Elise deserved it, didn't she? And Easton was dating my sister, who bullied me my whole life. Then one day, I was studying in the courtyard when Easton walked over to me, and he looked furious.
I've had it with you, Layla. Your jealousy has turned you insane. All the kids at school now are terrified of you.
What do you mean? I've done nothing to anyone, except you and Elise.
Really? Because the bucket of paint from your prank got all over the cafeteria floor, and one kid tripped and sprained his ankle. I'm sorry you're hurt about me dating Elise, but it happened organically. Our feelings for each other had nothing to do with you. I know you're hurt, but don't become a bully because of it.
Easton walked off, and I thought about what he said. Maybe Elise wasn't trying to hurt me, and her falling for Easton was just a coincidence. Maybe I could just be happy for her. So that week, I did everything I could to make things right with people. I volunteered to help as many kids as I could with homework, and they'd know I wasn't a monster. And I apologized to Elise and Easton, and surprisingly, they forgave me. On Friday night, Elise and Easton were celebrating their 1-month anniversary at the beach. So I told Elise I'd deliver them a picnic basket. But when I got there, Elise was sitting alone in the sand, and she was crying. Hey, what's wrong? Where's Easton?
He's not here, Layla. He's not coming.
Did you guys break up?
No, because we never dated. It was all fake. I even paid Easton monthly and used up all my savings. I wanted to make you jealous.
Wait, what? I don't understand.
I thought that after my surgery, people would start treating me differently because my face looked better. I thought I'd finally get as much attention as you. But because my distortion isn't totally fixed, I didn't. And that made me angry. But I can't do this to you anymore. I feel horrible.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Elise kept apologizing, but I couldn't even look at her. I didn't want revenge. I just didn't want to deal with her anymore. Things completely changed between us after that. My sister and I both cut contact with Easton and became strangers to each other. It broke my heart, but I didn't know what else to do. We were toxic for each other. Before we knew it, high school ended, and we both went our separate ways. A couple of years later, I was walking around my university campus when I got a phone call.
Layla, it's Easton. I know we haven't spoken in years, but I need your help. My parents lost their house and are homeless. I'm doing everything I can to help them, but I'm desperate. I'm calling everyone I know for either money or food.
My stomach was in knots. I still hated Easton for what he did, but he was obviously in a crisis. So I bought a bunch of food and clothes and arrived at the homeless shelter.
God, you're an angel. I can't thank you enough.
I'm not doing this for you. It's for your parents. And I never want to see you after this. Do you understand?
Yes. What I did to you was unforgivable. Can I just tell you one thing? I never wanted to go through with Elise's fake dating plan. The only reason I agreed to it was because my family's been struggling since I was a kid. I was always terrified we'd end up living on the streets. It's still no excuse, especially because I was in love with you.
My head started spinning. I had no idea Easton had been suffering that much, and I had no idea that he loved me. I decided it was time to smooth things over. That night, I went right home and convinced my parents to give Easton's family a loan, and then I asked if they could invite Elise for dinner.
Oh, sweetie, that's a wonderful idea. She's doing well these days, but she talks about you a lot.
For some reason, I was happy to hear that. When Elise came over, she immediately ran to hug me.
Layla, I'm so glad you're here. Actually, I got you some presents.
Elise handed me a huge gift bag, and to my shock, she bought me all kinds of expensive presents. Perfume, jewelry, and even a brand new iPad.
None of this makes up for how I've treated you over the years. But I love you, Layla. And if you ever want to have a relationship, I'm here.
Thanks, Elise. That means a lot. You did really hurt me. But it has been a couple of years. I can't forgive you overnight. But this is a good start.
I also know you got in touch with Easton. If you ever want to date him, you have my blessing. It's a possibility. But
first, I want to make things right with you. Though, of course, Elise invited Easton over later and left us alone on our porch.
I'm really glad you and Elise made up. Do you think you can ever forgive me? Layla, I never really got over you.
Wow, I didn't know that. But it will take me some time to trust you again.
I understand that. I'm willing to wait as long as it takes.
Hi, I'm Julia. I live in France, and I'm the girl with the perfect life, curious about what perfect means. Let's stick around to find out. By the way, please like and subscribe for Luna Avatar. I grew up in a well-off family. My dad is a successful entrepreneur. Every venture he started turned into a gold mine. My mom is an international artist. In my parents' eyes, I'm a diamond ring, and they spoiled me endlessly. Anything I touched, my dad would buy for me. On my 10th birthday, I asked my dad if I could start ballet lessons, and he built a huge dance studio in our backyard. My friends were jealous when they saw it.
Oh, Dad, you are the most awesome person alive!
I only did a small thing for my treasure. And remember the doctor's advice, sweetheart. Don't get overexcited.
Yep, I get worse when I worry or get too joyful. Overall, my life is perfect and every kid dreams of being me. But as I grew up, things started to change. Dad was often busy at the company and rarely came home, and Mom was touring everywhere. We didn't spend much time together, and I was also busy with my own life. At least we still had our annual family vacation on my birthday. I'm really eager to go to China for my 18th birthday. It's wrong to count your chickens before they hatch. My parents' decision ruined everything.
Julia, your mom and I have decided to separate.
What? Separate? But why?
Baby, we're getting a divorce.
Are you serious, Mom? Dad?
We felt stuck in a hole for a long time.
Are you saying we're not a happy family? I've owned every collection before they were even released. You have fame, and Dad has mansions and a private yacht. We have an amazing life. We are happy people.
We're not happy together. We don't want to continue like this forever. It's better for us to separate now.
No way! I'll do whatever it takes to stop this!
Sorry, Julia, but it doesn't depend on you. Your dad and I need to free each other. Don't you feel like you're being selfish, only wanting to keep all the good things for yourself?
I got mad, threw a vase, ran to my room, and slammed the door. A few weeks later, Mom moved out and they officially divorced. The days that followed were the worst of my life. I imprisoned myself in my room and cried. It was such a crisis for a fragile soul like me. I overthought ways to reverse everything, but my plans soon went down the cliff when Dad told me that. He is dating a woman and wants me to meet her at dinner tonight. Of course, I hate it, but I don't want to make Dad sad. I have no choice. I arrived at the meeting point and saw my dad standing side by side with an elegant lady and a girl.
You must be Julia. I'm Kayla. Your dad has told me so much about you.
Oh, thank God, my father just talked about you to me this morning. You know, he has a wife and I don't think he should have a girlfriend. No, I must call you a homewrecker?
Haha, Julia just wants to make everyone laugh. She's so talkative.
Right! Laugh every moment you can because your time dating my dad won't last long.
Enough! Julia!
Never mind, Dad. I find her quite interesting. By the way, I'm Doris. It's nice to meet you. Why don't we go out and have some fun?
Wait! Did this girl just call my dad Dad? Jerk! I follow her to see what stupid things she will do.
She showed me around, and everywhere was filled with her awards. Even while sitting in the living room, my dad couldn't stop talking about Doris's perfection, which drove me crazy.
Doris is not only academically talented, but also an amazing ballet dancer. Julia, you should also hear Doris sing. Her voice is like an angel.
Thanks, Dad.
Lame! Sounds good, but I don't care. Everyone's a singer these days, and I'm a perfect dancer, by the way.
To prove it, I got up from the chair and showed off my acrobatic skills. Unexpectedly, I lost my balance and fell hard on the floor. Dad rushed to help me, and I was so embarrassed. A few days later, things got even worse when I encountered Doris in the hallway.
Are you daring to tail me?
No. Our dad just enrolled me at your school. By the way, how's your arm? You took quite a fall. I used to be a gymnast, so if you want, I can give you some tips to recover quicker.
Oh, that's kind of you, but it's none of your business. Besides, he's my dad, not our dad. You might fool everyone with your pretty face, but I won't be fooled. Witchy!
I walked away before she could respond. I was really annoyed that everyone around seemed to admire her. The girls praising her style, and the guys were fighting each other to talk to her.
Look at her, trying to slay as much as possible. I just want to rush in and scratch that dirty face.
I understand your feeling. I hate homewreckers, but I think you're giving her more attention than she deserves. Julia, you're so much more beautiful and intelligent than she is.
Amber's right. I'm so much more perfect than she is, and I'm rich. Why can't I snatch her spotlight? Everything would have been fine if I hadn't walked by the dance studio and inadvertently overheard her conversation with another girl.
She'd better have good manners. I mean, it's not my fault if her parents don't want to live together, right?
Right, she's such a weirdo, but you're really gorgeous. Where do you get your hair done? Give me the stylist's number.
Doris is laughing. I have to show her who I really am. The next day, in our swimming class, I gave Doris the friendliest smile. She seemed confused until she opened her bag and a bunch of cockroaches spilled out. Doris jumped up and bumped into the guy next to her, and they both fell into the pool. I couldn't stop laughing. Another time, in basketball class, I swapped Doris's clothes with a medieval outfit, and she walked out looking like a ridiculous clown. Everyone rushed over to comfort her while I stood in the corner laughing my head off. Suddenly, Amber leaned in close to me.
It's you?
Yep, Doris looked like a rat just crawled out of the sewer. Smart move, right?
No, Julia, it's bullying. It's not the right way to get revenge on someone.
You mean my pranks are still too gentle? Okay, I'll need to step up my game with harsher ones to dump her and her mom from my family life, so my mom will come back.
It's impossible, Julia. Doris and her mom are not the cause. The issues are with your mom and dad.
Shut up! Oh, I forgot. Your mom witnessed firsthand her husband with another woman in their bedroom. You know my dad isn't cheating like that?
The moment I said it, I regretted it immediately. I was stunned to see a group of people standing behind, eavesdropping. Amber was shocked and shouted,
You're the cruel witch! That night, my mood was at rock bottom, so I went home early. But when I came through the door, I saw Kayla sneaking around talking to someone on the phone. I went closer to eavesdrop on their conversation. Suddenly my phone rang, and Kayla immediately hung up and turned to look at me with a confused expression.
Hey, sweetie, why are you back home so soon?
You, stop calling me that! Where's my dad?
I don't know. Maybe he has an appointment.
She quickly passed by me to leave, and a bunch of money accidentally fell out of her handbag. She seemed panicked, hurriedly stuffing it back into her bag before leaving in a rush. Why does she act so weird? Afterwards, I went out for dinner with Dad. I couldn't hide my suspicions about his girlfriend, so I asked him,
Does Kayla know the safes combination?
What? Why do you ask me that?
Dad, don't you think she might have fallen for you because of the money? I tried to look up information about her, but found nothing. What if she's a scammer, spy, or something like that?
No way you're overthinking, Julia. She loves me and we're happy together.
Those words made my heart split apart. The next day, when I walked into class, I saw Amber sitting next to Doris. I walked over and slammed my book down on the desk.
Are you trying to get back at me by hanging out with that witch's daughter? I thought you hated her. Bestie!
No, Julia, you're the only one who hates her. I hate you. And Doris feels the same.
No, Julia. I'm sure you didn't mean it like that. Why don't you join us? I think we can work things out.
Freak! Don't act like you're an angel. You're so fake!
Don't care about her, Doris. Making her understand this is as hard as getting a duck to dance.
Haha, you're just a duck quack! Quack! I'll show you who you're messing with.
I pushed Amber and she fell to the ground. Doris rushed to help her. At that moment, the teacher walked in and called me a troublemaker, punishing me to stand in the hallway. After that, I often bullied classmates, skipped classes, and failed subjects. My parents put me in a reform school, but eventually they gave up. My hatred for them grew stronger, and I decided to get revenge on Doris. The perfect opportunity came when my dad organized a birthday party for Doris. I had a chance to humiliate her. That night when the party started, I saw Kayla sneaking out to the backyard and talking to someone mysterious. I moved closer to listen to their conversation, my heart pounding as if it was going to burst out.
I said, don't come here.
You didn't answer the phone. I need to make sure that both you and Doris are okay.
We're better than ever. You came here for the money, didn't you? Here it is.
Thanks, by the way. I just want to say secrets are no longer secrets when two people know them.
I have no other choice. I don't want anyone to find out who I really am. So, take this money and keep your idiot mouth shut.
The mysterious guy jumped through the wall in an instant. Kayla turned around, and when she saw me behind her, she accidentally dropped the glass. Her face went pale.
I was right. You and Doris are the scammers.
Julia, it's not what you think.
Really? Or maybe a super thief or a wanted criminal. I will expose the dirty faces of both of you.
Kayla tried to stop me, but I ran inside and straight to the main stage. I turned off the music and plugged in my phone. As the man's voice started playing, Doris suddenly began to tremble. At that moment, Dad rushed over and grabbed my phone, throwing it down to the floor.
Dad, why did you do that?
I'm going crazy from your ridiculous pranks.
Ridiculous? Oh my God, these two have deceived you. She gave money to a stranger to keep some terrible secret. Dad, you've been fooled by these witches.
No, because I know the truth. The money you're talking about belongs to Kayla, not me.
And Dad told me everything. Kayla had lived in hell while married to a thug, and Doris is their daughter.
I didn't want my daughter to live in a toxic environment for even one more second. So, one day, when my daughter was 3 years old, I stole money from my ex-husband and ran away with Doris. We changed our names, and things started to get better, but I was always afraid that Doris's father might find us one day. The man you saw is someone I hired to protect us.
But Mom, you told me that Dad was a police officer and that he passed away before I was born.
Sorry, Doris. I don't want to mention that bastard.
Haha, what a birthday surprise. Thanks, Julia. You've succeeded in ruining my party and even my family. Are you happy now?
Doris, I don't know.
I tried to be kind because I saw you were hurting from your parents' divorce. But now I realize you only wanted to get revenge on me. It's awful, and I don't want to see your face anymore.
I felt very ashamed. Doris cried and ran to her room. I wanted to apologize, but my dad kicked me out of the house. That night, I wandered the streets, reflecting on how selfish I'd been and how blinded I was to place all the blame on Doris. It's the first time in my life I felt this kind of regret and guilt. The next morning, Dad sadly told me that Doris and Kayla had gone to the airport to leave for London. I rushed to the airport to find them.
What are you doing here?
I don't want you to leave. Listen, Doris, I was selfish and jealous. I thought you came to take everything from me. My dad, my best friend, my life. You were right. I was truly selfish.
You know, we've moved around a lot, and I didn't have any siblings or friends. I was genuinely excited to think that I finally had a stable place and a family. I wasn't trying to steal anything from you.
I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. Can we become a family?
Are you serious?
Yes, it's all from the heart. And we went back home.
The next day, I went to Amber's house to apologize to her.
Amber, I'm so sorry. I was a terrible friend. I hurt you when you were trying to help me do the right thing.
Amber smiled and walked toward me.
I'm not holding a grudge. Why don't we go on a trip to China?
Hi, I'm Rena. Please like and subscribe. I was walking in the school hallway after I failed my chemistry exam for the 5th time in the 10th grade. And that's when I realized that the best thing I could do was look for a good husband and marry him after graduation. I had no future in college anyways. And when I was busy imagining myself as the wife of a handsome billionaire, I bumped into a boy I had never seen before. And in a heavy accent, he said,
"You have 3 weeks to fall in love with me."
"What?" I was shocked, but he looked very serious. I tried to push him away, but he stopped me.
It's only 3 weeks, and I know you very well, Rena. You'll like taking risks. Agree to this and I promise you, you will have the best time of your life.
I stared at him and started talking, but I tripped over something and was about to fall when he caught me just in time.
Easy there, baby girl.
What did he just call me? I pushed him away and fell on my butt really hard. "Don't touch me! And where are you from?"
Italy!
Italian guys are so attractive, but you look ugly to me. Of course I was lying. He was really cute. And so what? You made a bet with your Italian friends before coming to the States that you will make an American girl fall in love with you in the first 3 weeks.
Kinda, but the bet was with my brothers. It was actually for 5 weeks. But when I saw you and knew you were miserable and ugly, I chose you and told my brothers. Nah, I only needed 3 weeks to make this girl fall head over heels in love with me.
Wow. Who did he think he was? Did you just call me ugly?
Yeah, but people must tell you that all the time, right?
Ugh. I ignored him and walked away, but he followed me and started begging. He told me he knew about my sick dad and that I lost my mom years ago. He offered to pay me $10,000 if I agreed to spend 3 weeks at school with him so his brothers could see us together. And what did I have to lose? I already failed 2 exams. Are you gonna buy me food?
A lot of food!
Deal! And just like that, I became his fake girlfriend. His name was Antonio, and he was super rich. And in the first 2 hours of our fake relationship, he bought me 5 Gucci bags.
If I have to be seen with you, you should change your cheap, ugly clothes. These are your size and your favorite color. Black!
How did you know about my favorite color?
You mentioned that in an Insta post March 2018, and you said from now on, I will only wear black.
Yeah, it's the day my mom passed away, and I was just sad.
Oh, I'm really sorry. Please forgive me.
I saw this as a chance to make him feel guilty, so I said, "I don't know if I can forgive you. That might take a while." I saw a worried look on his face. Perfect! I excused myself to go to the bathroom to do my happy dance first, and then try on all these amazing dresses. When I left the bathroom, Antonio looked really impressed, and so did everyone else. I saw the look on every girl's face who made fun of me and my clothes. And to tease them more, I put my arm around Antonio's. "You're amazing, amor mio." "In your face, witches!" The next few days were heaven. I got the latest iPhone, expensive shoes and clothes, amazing makeup, and the best perfumes. Now, Antonio and I were inseparable, and everyone envied me. It felt amazing. Until one evening, I was studying for a stupid poetry exam. When I felt hungry, I texted Antonio and asked him to bring me some Italian food. A few minutes later, someone knocked on the door. It was a good-looking guy around my age. "Antonio sent you?"
No English, madam."
Just then, Dad asked me who I was talking to, and I said, "Some really handsome delivery boy. Too bad he doesn't understand English, and too dumb for a really hot boy."
At least I'm not too dumb to think that Shakespeare is 2 verbs. You even turned it into the past tense. Shook, speared. How did you even come up with that?
Hey, it's a confusing name. Poetry is hard. Oh wait, didn't you say you didn't speak English?
Well, your jerk boyfriend, who is also my brother, asked me not to talk to you. He's afraid that you would fall in love with me.
Oh wow, what's up with this family? But I decided to let it go and took the bags of food from him. And before closing the door, I said, "Thanketh thee, I loveth thee."
You just said I love you.
Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. This was so awkward. I just burst into tears. Can you please tutor me? Teach me something, man. I don't want to fail this exam. My dad will kill me.
Okay, I'm gonna help you. Not because I care or anything. It's because I want to tease my brother and spend some time with you to piss him off.
You guys are so honest.
It runs in our blood.
And he pushed me and got inside. His name was Lorenzo, and he was such a smart guy. He tutored me for 5 hours, And the next day, I failed the exam. But who cares? I was the fake girlfriend of a wealthy boy. During lunch, Antonio got me a cute bracelet with our letters carved on it. He was really into this bet, but suddenly he got serious.
Don't you ever talk to Lorenzo again. Do you hear me?
Or what? Are you for real? You're not the boss of me. This relationship is all fake.
I said do not talk to him again.
Who did he think he was, talking to me like that? Just then, I spotted Lorenzo. So I pushed Antonio aside and went to sit with him. I even faked crying over the poetry exam and hugged Lorenzo so tight. He hugged me back. Later that day, I felt really sleepy during the boring lesson and put my head on the desk to take a nap. But someone started throwing paper balls at me. It was Antonio standing outside the window. What are you doing here? Leave before the teacher sees you.
Come with me now. I won't leave until you come with me.
He was crazy. I didn't want the teacher to notice anything, so I just jumped out the window. I fell into Antonio's arms, and his face was really close to mine. I could see how amazing his brown eyes were. I also noticed a scar next to his eyebrow. That's a cute scar! But suddenly Antonio let me go, and I fell on the ground. Ouch!
Follow me.
I followed him into the parking lot, and there I found a fancy carriage with 2 white horses. In what age do you live? But just then, 2 girls pulled me into the carriage and put makeup and a cute Disney princess dress on me. And then Antonio joined me. We reached a beautiful meadow filled with wildflowers. We had an amazing dinner, and I said, "Why are you doing this? We both know it's fake."
I don't know. I just felt like it.
And then he held my hand and looked straight into my eyes. And he got closer. But just then, my phone rang, and I looked at it nervously.
Is that him? What does he want?
We agreed that he would tutor me tonight. I have a chemistry exam tomorrow.
That's not gonna happen!
Oh, I'm sorry. I already texted him and sent him my location to pick me up. And a while later, Lorenzo arrived, holding a pretty bracelet in his hand. He handed it to me in front of Antonio.
Every charm has a different chemical element with its symbol to help you remember them better.
You mean help me cheat better? Man, you're the best! I high-fived him and left him saying bye to Antonio. That night, I studied with Lorenzo for 3 hours. And to my surprise, I was finally able to understand some things in chemistry. I know it was my 6th attempt to succeed, but still. I got up to do my happy dance, and I don't know what happened, but I accidentally poured some soda on his t-shirt. I apologized immediately and started using wipes to clean up his shirt. Oh God, I'm such a dummy. I'm sorry. He held my hand, and I could feel his warm breath on my face. God, he was irresistible.
You're really pretty, Rena.
We looked at each other for a moment, and he got closer to kiss me. But I stopped him. I can't do this. I'm with Antonio now.
But it's all fake, Rena.
I know, but I think he's not that bad. And...
Oh my God. You really think he likes you? How can you be this stupid?
He got up and left. Now I was really confused. Whom did I really like? Was it Antonio or Lorenzo? Next day, when I arrived at school, I saw Lorenzo and waved at him, but he ignored me. I walked toward him, but Antonio showed up and put his arm around my neck.
I believe your feet hurt really bad after last night.
Why are you saying that?
Because you walked into every single dream I had last night. Caramelina!
Ugh, so lame. But just then, he gave me my favorite chocolate and said,
I'm not as smart as Lorenzo, and I can't help tutor you, but I can give you chocolate. It will help you remember things better.
I thanked him and left. I spent the few coming days with Antonio because Lorenzo was ignoring me. And one day, Lorenzo didn't come to school, and I got worried because he never missed school. I asked Antonio about him, but he got all angry and didn't want to answer. But I insisted. And he told me that Lorenzo wasn't feeling well and was taken to the hospital last night.
Why are you looking at me like that? Go see your Prince Charming. He needs you.
I left the school and ran to see Lorenzo. I saw him sitting on his bed. He was surprised when he saw me. Lorenzo, before you say anything, I'm sorry about everything. I didn't realize how much you mean to me until we stopped talking. I really miss you, and I was thinking maybe we should go out. But just then, a girl showed up and held Lorenzo's hand. Oh my God! What are the chances that this ugly redhead is your sister?
0. She is my girlfriend.
What the freaking flamingo? I wish the ground would open up and swallow me.
Rena, listen.
No, it's okay! I just ran out of there crying. Why did God make me so dumb? I didn't go to school for the next 2 days. although I finally passed the chemistry exam. But I was too sad. Then I remembered I'd agreed with Antonio 3 weeks ago that I'd let him record a fake video of me begging him not to leave me, to show it as proof to his brothers that he won the bet. So, I went to school and told him I was ready.
For what?
For the video! You won the bet, remember?
I didn't win the bet. Lorenzo did. I didn't make you fall in love with me. Lorenzo did. I didn't break your heart. Lorenzo did.
Wait, are you saying that Lorenzo was involved in this? He also wanted me to fall in love with him?
Wasn't that too obvious, Rena? Can't you just look around you and see who really cared about you?
Oh, stop with your lies! Stop! I don't want to hear anything from you! Good job playing with my heart!
Oh, don't be the victim now. You just assumed that Lorenzo really liked you. And you ditched me so many times to go with him. And you didn't even care about how that made me feel?
Poor boy. He looks sad. Sorry to interrupt you guys, but I really need my chemical elements bracelet back. Since the bet is over now, and I won, you should give it back to me. It even helped you finally pass that exam. God, you're so dumb.
I got really mad at him and slapped him hard in the face. And then I got the bracelet off and threw it on the floor. Lorenzo got furious and approached me.
What did you do, you stupid girl?
Don't talk to her like that, you jerk.
Or what? What will you do to defend your little princess other than crying next to her?
And he pushed Antonio away, but Antonio punched him and he fell to the ground. Antonio wanted to hurt him even more, but I stopped him. Stop it! Enough with all this drama!
Yeah, speaking of drama, I just sent you something about your Romeo.
And he got up and left. The video showed when I left Antonio to visit Lorenzo in the hospital that day. Antonio took out a ring box and looked at it with teary eyes. But then he got mad and threw it on the ground. Then he sat on the floor and put his hands around his head. He looked really sad. Is this real? Do you like me?
I love you, Rena. You're amazing and funny and smart. And I understand that you don't love me back. So you don't have to feel sorry for me. You can leave me. I will be okay, I guess.
Or I can give you another 3 weeks to make me fall in love with you.
Really? That's amazing. Shall we start with a ring?
I think we can start with a kiss.
You're amazing! Cutie cupcake!
Wait, my mom used to call me that.
I know! Would you mind me calling you that?
You're amazing, Antonio! I was too blind to not see it. Can you please kiss me now?
I would love to.
Hi, I'm Wednesday from Scotland, and this is my wacky Halloween story. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I had an awesome childhood. My dad loved me to pieces. I never got stuck in one hobby for too long because he was always willing to pay for the best classes and gear. Life was good, but there was one problem. My dad ran a funeral home and the other kids at school thought I was a total creep and a freak.
I heard Dracula buys his beds from Wednesday.
Is that why you're so weird? Are you like possessed or something?
Nah, but it looks like you're being controlled by my cat's poop. And all those thoughts made it so I didn't have any friends. But when I was in 10th grade, a crazy twist changed my life completely. My dad's sister, Aunt Mary, came to live with us. And she was the most fabulous-looking woman I'd ever seen. She had a daughter my age, and I was super excited because I thought I was finally gonna get my first friend. But she took one look at me and wrinkled her nose like I was cat poop.
What are you wearing? You look poor!
Unfortunately, Enid instantly became the most popular girl in school. And just like that, my chance was over. It was weird that nobody cared she also lived in the house with a funeral home in the basement. Aunt Mary was a famous fashion influencer on social media, so Enid thought she was qualified to rate people's outfits every day at school.
572. Ugh, minus!
Who made you fashion police?
You should be arrested for that crime against fashion!
I walked past her barking and went to dance class. But when I got back to the girls' locker room, my clothes were gone. Turns out Enid snuck in, stole them, and was about to throw them on the grill.
Trust me, I'm doing you a favor.
And she started turning on the grill. You've gone too far, you witch! I tackled her to the ground and pulled her hair. We fought like cats till the teachers pulled us apart and took us to the principal's office, where we were given 2 weeks of detention. At home, Aunt Mary blamed me for everything.
It's not your fault, Gomez. This is what happens to motherless girls.
I tried to make up for that mistake.
By spoiling her rotten. She's really impulsive and can't stick to one hobby. The house is filled with stuff she's only used once. It's probably worth a fortune, and she doesn't appreciate any of it. That's why she's starting fights with Enid, who was just trying to help.
Maybe you're right. But what should I do? I was really stressed running the funeral home.
But I'm here now. I'll take care of everything.
Thank you, Mary. Here, buy whatever you need.
I couldn't believe he gave Aunt Mary all the money my family had. Did he think something was wrong with me too?
Your dynasty has fallen, little princess. Now Mom and I are the queens here.
No, Dad loves me and he'll see right through you two. In reality, Dad seemed blind to everything. Things at home just got worse. I came home one day to find all my things boxed up in the living room.
The room was way too big for you. It was really a waste, so I decided to turn it into a closet space.
What the heck? So tonight I have to fight for a spot to sleep with my cat?
Our basement still has plenty of space.
Dad won't allow this. You've overstayed your welcome, Aunt Mary. I'll have him kick you out of the house. But instead, Dad accused me of being selfish and not welcoming aunt and cousin like I should have. I was completely heartbroken. It made me wish Mom was here right now. Things were already grim at home. But a week later, I was rushing to the cafeteria to get the last slice of pizza when a boy beat me to it. Hey, you must be new here? That's actually mine. The lunch lady must have forgotten to leave a note.
It's probably on another slice.
What a jerk! I had to settle for a gross sandwich. Ugh! The pizza thief's name was Tyler, and he had recently transferred from New York. He was super rich, but I suspected he was some kind of robot because the dude never changed his expression. But the girls were going crazy over his good looks.
His style is on point. He's so mysterious and dashing.
I mean, yeah, he was cute, but the guy hardly ever said 2 words. A few days before Halloween, Enid announced she was throwing a party and that there would be a prize for the best costume. I was planning on staying in my dusty, spider-infested attic bedroom, but then I heard Tyler would be there, so I spent hours coming up with the perfect outfit. But when I finally came out of my closet, I got the biggest shock. The party didn't have a horror theme at all. Everyone was dressed up like models and the Kardashians. I looked totally out of place.
Oh my god, Wednesday came dressed as the ghost that's possessing her.
It's Vampire F to Werewolf, you idiot.
Oh, what a lame outfit.
Yeah, you'd know all about lame since you threw a lame party. What a snooze fest.
Do you think you can do better, freak?
You wouldn't know an awesome Halloween party if it bit you on the butt. Where are the bats, the witches, the skeletons? Where's the scary stuff?
We're not crazy like you, and I throw classy parties, but I'm not scared of anything.
Oh, I think you are. If you're so brave, spend 2 hours at the Roslin Mansion with me. First one to come out crying will be the other's personal assistant for a month.
What's the Roslin Mansion?
I jumped in surprise. Tyler was so close. I could feel his eyes on me, and it made my heart flutter in my chest.
It's the most haunted place in Scotland. It was abandoned years ago after the place burned down in a freak fire.
Sounds cool.
I was terrified of the place, and I was sure Enid was going to chicken out. But to my shock, she said,
"You're on."
Everyone got to the Roslin Mansion, and my heart sank into my belly. The place was spookier at night. Tyler was going to time the dare, and the others waited around making bets on who would win.
This is where you can live, once Mom and I have you kicked out. Ugh.
She was trying to get in my head. I hated her so much. I walked to the house on jelly legs, imagining all sorts of horrors inside. I stood in the front hall, my heart hammering in my throat. The whole place was creepy, windy, and cold. Goosebumps broke out on my skin. Suddenly, Enid pushed me right then.
Go on upstairs. You wanted an adventure.
Shut up, Enid. Let's just stand in one place for 2 hours.
I thought you wanted a spooky Halloween. Go find a ghost boyfriend or something. You won't ever get a live boy to date anyway.
What is your problem? Why are you so mean to me?
Because you're a walking eyesore. Nobody wants you at home. Uncle only gave you everything because he feels sorry that your mom left you. Just get lost already.
You are the worst, Enid. You can't treat people like this.
Don't tell me what to do.
Don't push me. Suddenly, we heard a deep voice behind us.
1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7, 8, gonna stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again.
I jumped out of my skin in fright, and Enid ran out of the house screaming like a banshee. But there was no monster. The ghost of my imagination was a homeless man with a koala nose. You scared the living daylights out of me, and you made Enid nearly pee her pants on the way out.
My apologies. You live at that funeral home, right?
Dude, you live in a haunted house. You don't get to judge.
Oh, no. I see you around town. I hear your aunt moved in with you. What's she like? Does she have a lot of money? Did she buy you this awesome costume?
Okay, you're officially freaking me out. If you don't want me to call the cops, you better buzz off. The homeless man left me alone, and 2 hours later I walked out of the mansion in triumph. Enid's face was scrunched up as if someone had farted under her nose.
That was cool. You're very brave.
School life changed completely. Now I was the popular girl, and Enid was my personal assistant. And it was awesome. I made her cut all my sandwiches into small pieces so I could eat it with a fork. I made her do all of my homework in disappearing ink, then made her do it again. And I even suggested that my pets poop a lot to give Enid more work. I had her running errands around campus in a dog costume. It was hilarious. But when I asked her to clean out my locker, she put her foot down.
No, absolutely not. I'm wearing vintage Chanel.
Then wear this hoodie. It's Walmart.
You're taking things too far. This is just cruel. I quit.
Maybe I had taken things a bit too far, but I wasn't sorry. One day on my way home, I saw the homeless man from the mansion snooping around our street. I chased him to the park, but he got away from me. But when I turned back to go home, I saw the most amazing thing. Tyler was rolling around on the grass with a cute puppy licking his face, and he was laughing. The sight set butterflies loose in my stomach. The dog playfully ripped the hoodie he was wearing, and it fell right off. Oh my God! But as soon as he saw me, his expression became robotic again.
What the heck?
Is this your dog?
Yeah, his name is Bruce.
Cool. Oh, good dog. Bruce was such a lovable puppy. I rubbed his belly, but then Tyler said it was time to go. But before he did, he picked the grass from my hair. His face was close, and I could see just how green his eyes were and then he just left. He was super weird, but really cute. The next day at school, he brought me a whole pizza for lunch. Hey, thanks. What are you doing today? Maybe you and Bruce can come over after school?
Sure, I think he really likes you.
Only him, or... He didn't answer. He turned around, face expressionless, and walked away. I was thinking about why he was the way he was when someone knocked my pizza to the floor.
You don't need the extra carbs. What kind of witch magic have you done on Tyler?
It's called human decency. You wouldn't know anything about it.
No way is someone as cool as him into a loser like you. You're definitely up to something, and I'll get to the bottom of it.
I ignored her. I hated going home these days, but I was looking forward to Tyler coming over with Bruce. We played with Bruce in the garden, and Tyler became a completely different person. I felt my heart beating fast when he looked at me. What's your deal? You're like RoboCop with the rest of us. And with Bruce, you finally start acting human.
I'm not good at making friends with humans. They lie and cheat. Animals are loyal, and they don't want a lot from you.
I know what you mean. I've never had friends either.
I thought you were popular in school. People hang out with you all the time.
Yeah, but they're not my friends. They still call me a freak behind my back because my dad runs a funeral home.
What's wrong with that?
I know, right? You're pretty cool, Tyler.
Call me Ty.
And he came closer when suddenly lights blinded me, and we were surrounded by the police.
Hands up!
What the heck is going on? I watched in horror as the police went inside the house and pulled Enid and Aunt Mary out. They were struggling and screaming and cursing their heads off. And Dad was coming behind them looking confused. Then a man in a suit walked over, and I recognized him. He was the homeless man.
Special Agent Curry, we've been following these criminals across 3 states.
Criminals? You must be mistaken. This is my sister and my niece.
Also known as Sticky Fingers Mary and Dastardly Enid. They have stolen from several banks and rich men, and I have a warrant for their arrest.
You'll never find the money. Never!
All of a sudden, Bruce jumped forward and dug his teeth inside Aunt Mary's fur coat.
Heck, let go, you dirty mutt!
But the coat ripped and money started pouring out of its lining.
I can't go to jail, Mommy. I'm too pretty to go to jail.
Dad was shocked. He turned to me looking completely confused.
What have I done? I trusted them completely.
I was still mad at Dad for trusting Aunt Mary over me. But he didn't deserve to go under a mountain of debt because of all the money they'd probably spent or stolen. We'll be fine, Dad. I'm sure Agent Curry can talk to the banks and we can get our money back.
I don't care about the money. I let them treat you horribly because they convinced me you were spoiled. Can you ever forgive me?
Of course I can, Dad. I love you the most. I hugged him tight. I finally had my home and my dad back. Life was going back to normal. Bruce barked, and I saw Tyler standing at the edge of the garden. Well, better than normal.
You were awesome, boy! Who's a clever dog? You're a clever dog?
I trained him, you know.
Then I owe you my eternal thanks. So I leaned up and kissed him, and he kissed me back, and it was perfect. So I learned that crime doesn't pay. Tell us about your most hilarious Halloween costumes in the comments. Hello, I'm Layla, and I have the scariest story to tell you. But first, please like and subscribe. I was adopted by my grandmother when I was 8 years old. She always had the best stories and baked fresh chocolate chip cookies every day. She loved me dearly, and life went on until one day she went out, was hit by a passing car, and died on the spot. She left me with an endless sadness. Sometime later, I was sent to live with my wealthy uncle. He was a businessman, and with him, I had quite a good time. But shortly after that, my uncle's business began to have problems. He went bankrupt and then lost his home. So I was moved to my aunt's house. She was great and even had a very cute cat. The three of us were happy together. Well, until the cat was also hit by a car and didn't make it. After facing 2 consecutive shocks, my aunt fell ill, then fled to Paris to heal her broken heart, leaving me without any relatives. I ended up in an orphanage. It wasn't too bad there, but I couldn't even make friends with anyone. But then, they all got adopted, and I was the only one left behind.
Don't be disheartened, Layla. I'm sure there's a perfectly good family waiting for you out there.
With my luck, I really doubt it.
I'd believed that I was just an unlucky person, destined to be lonely. And as time went by, my hope of finding a family also faded away. But then, a week after my 18th birthday, something unexpected happened. The warden called me into the office and told me that a family wanted to adopt me, and that I had to go to their house that very night. I found it strange because the family hadn't even met me. But the warden said they had reviewed my profile and made their decision. As I packed my things to leave, my heart filled with joy at the thought of having a family of my own. But when I arrived at the provided address, my heart sank. It hurt. It was a rundown inn located next to a cemetery. The gates were tall and rusty, the windows large and cracked, and the walls covered in mold. The place looked absolutely terrifying. Just then, the front door creaked open, and a woman stepped out, looking like she was dressed up for a Halloween party.
Hello. You must be Lillian. I'm Mrs. Edwards. I'm sorry we couldn't come to pick you up. My husband and I had a little emergency.
That's okay, it wasn't.
Shh. Do you smell that? Looks like it's going to rain any second. Why don't you get your stuff inside and I'll show you around? Oh, did I say how happy I am to see you? I would smile, but I have this condition where my face muscles don't flex the same way anymore. Come now.
Ms. Edwards led me inside the house just seconds before the sky opened up and rain poured down heavily. She gave me a tour of the inn, and the inside was just as creepy as the outside. Then we went into the living room, where I met her husband, who looked just as strange as she did. And then, just as I was about to sit down at the dining table, a girl suddenly appeared out of nowhere and pushed me aside.
You can't sit here, you ugly toad!
Why not? It's empty.
Don't talk back to me! My house! My rules!
Ivy, can you please calm down? Layla, why don't you sit next to me, dear? Now, Ivy, greet your sister nicely. We must make her feel welcome.
She is not welcome, and she is not my sister!
Ivy was extremely angry and ran back to her room, slamming the door shut. Mrs. Edwards could only sigh, and Mr. Edwards just shook his head apologetically. After that, she led me to my room, which had a view of the cursed cemetery. I was terrified. I couldn't sleep at all. Eventually, I got up to get a glass of water. But I still saw Ivy and her parents in the living room. I stopped and listened to their conversation.
What's the matter with you? Layla must have felt so bad and unwelcome.
And how do you think I feel about this stranger living in my house?
We thought it would be nice for you to have some company.
I told you 100 times, I don't need company. I just want her gone.
I left there feeling sad. I still couldn't escape my unlucky fate. No matter where I went, I wasn't welcomed. The next morning, I was quite ready to return to the orphanage, but instead, Mrs. Edwards told me she would enroll me in Ivy's school. I thought I would take this opportunity to connect with her, but she was as cold as ice. Even at school, I noticed that she hardly spoke to anyone and sat alone in a corner. It felt like everyone avoided Ivy, but everyone was very nice to me, especially Jean, the class beauty. I told her about being adopted by the Edwards family, and she was so shocked she froze in place.
You're living with those whack jobs? The Edwards owned all the towns, major motels. But then guests started vanishing mysteriously. Their motels closed and they left town for a couple of years and just recently came back. Rumor has it that Mrs. Edwards practiced witchcraft and sacrificed those missing guests for some ritual.
That sounds completely ridiculous. And Mrs. Edwards seems like a perfectly nice woman.
Maybe they're just rumors, but it's not hard to see that the Edwards are an odd bunch. Just be careful.
I couldn't deny the truth. They were quite strange. First of all, I didn't know what Mr. Edwards did for a living, and he seemed to never leave the house. Mrs. Edwards only went out at night to shop or run errands. When I asked why, she excused it by saying she hated crowds, and I guessed she wanted to avoid people because the Edwards family wasn't well liked in town. I wondered why they moved back here. And there was a room in the west wing of the inn that always had a big lock on it. Once, Mrs. Edwards caught me looking at it curiously, and she told me it was off limits. One night, while I was studying late in my room, I heard someone whispering outside. A few seconds later, I looked out and saw Mrs. Edwards and Ivy walking down the hallway, and I couldn't stop myself from following them. They went up a narrow spiral staircase to the rooftop, and as I watched them from a safe distance, they held hands and closed their eyes. A few minutes later, Mrs. Edwards took out a large flashlight from the bag she was carrying, and they started flashing it in a strange pattern. A cold wind blew by, making their nightgowns flutter in the breeze, and I couldn't help but think they looked like witches. When they were done, Mrs. Edwards put the flashlight down, and the two of them hugged tightly and cried.
Do you think our message went through, Mom?
I'm sure it did, honey. I left quietly before they could spot me.
I quietly left before they could notice me. It was clear they wanted to keep this a secret, but who could they be sending messages to? What if they were summoning spirits? Was living next to the dead not bad enough? The next day at school, while I was walking into the cafeteria with Jean, I saw a group of girls surrounding Ivy and throwing food at her. I wanted to run over and help her, but Jean stopped me, and then Ivy ran away from there. I followed her to the bathroom and heard her crying inside.
Ivy, I saw what happened, and you don't have to put up with this. Come with me. Well, report it to the principal.
She rushed at me with red, teary eyes.
Why do you care? It's not like you don't think I'm a weirdo just like everyone else. I'm sure you've heard all the rumors about our family. Maybe we are weird and maybe I am crazy, and that's why I'm all alone and always will be.
No, you won't. I'll be there for you if you let me. I don't care about any rumors, and I don't believe them. I like you guys, and who cares if you're a bit weird?
Ivy looked surprised, then came over and hugged me. We reported the bullies to the principal, and after that day, she started being friendlier to me, and she was really fun to be around. We went to the mall together, shopped, and went camping together. Then one day, Mrs. Edwards took us to see her favorite horror movie, and I had a great time.
Oh my God. The way you jumped out of your seat and sent popcorn flying everywhere was hilarious.
I almost peed my pants.
And dropped soda all over me. But who's counting?
Yeah, sorry about that. Mrs. Edwards.
Just call me Mom. Mom winked at me.
It had been a long time since I felt like I had a real family. A strange family, for sure, but I had a place to call home, and I was truly happy. Soon after, I even started inviting Ivy to hang out with me and Jean. And although Jean was uncomfortable being around her...
Here, I baked my very famous choco chip cookies. Why don't you try one?
Oh, sure. This is so nice. I'm gonna go and enjoy this outside while watching the flowers.
Jean got scared and left. I followed her and saw her spit out the cookie in her mouth and throw the rest into the trash.
Why did you just do that?
What if they are poisoned or have a curse on them?
Seriously?
I'm sure she wants to turn me into a toad. She keeps looking at me like she's about to break into a spell.
You sound so absurd right now. I live with her, Jean, and she's not a witch. I know she's unusual, but can you just give her a chance?
Jean was reluctant, but she eventually invited Ivy to her birthday party. The whole class was there, and we were having a great time until we heard someone scream.
My diamond necklace, it's gone. Has anyone seen it?
She continued searching the ground frantically before spotting Ivy.
You stole it, didn't you?
What? How would I?
I don't know what trick or spell you used. I just know it's you. Let her go. She didn't steal anything. I was with her the whole time. Jean, tell her.
But Jean just stood silently like a rock.
You're so spineless. We are leaving this party. Layla, wait. No, Jean. I know you don't like Ivy, but this is way too insulting.
I took Ivy's hand, and we left. As soon as we got home, Ivy ran to her room crying, and I decided to give her some space. But that night, I went to check on her and found her bed empty. I looked everywhere and then went to the hallway with the locked room. But tonight, it wasn't locked. Feeling really curious, I tiptoed closer and gently pushed the door open to see a very feminine room in perfect condition, with Ivy sitting on the bed and a pile of things beside her.
Phone, jewelry, watches. Ivy? What's all this?
Ivy looked up at me furiously and started stuffing them all into a bag.
You have no business being here. Get out!
Not till you explain why you have a stash of things that clearly don't belong to you. A bunch of kids and teachers have been reporting things going missing from their lockers. You took them?
Shut up and go away!
I just offended you and walked out of a party because someone accused you of theft. Why would you do something so awkward?
You don't really know me or anything about my life. So don't judge me. And I said, get out!
Ivy went mad and lunged at me, hitting me. Hearing the noise, Mr. and Mrs. Edwards rushed over and pulled her away. When I told them about the stolen items, they looked horrified. They told me they would return everything to the school and then went into Ivy's room, closing the door behind them, leaving me standing there. But I tiptoed closer to Ivy's closed door and pressed my ear against it.
I know it was wrong, but I had to do something. What if Layla reports me to the police?
Honey, also, I'll talk to the warden and see what we can do.
A warden? Like the warden at my orphanage? Oh no, they're going to send me back. Is my bad luck still haunting me? I don't want to go back there. Definitely not. So, I packed my things and ran away. I kept walking, and in a daze, a big car hit me straight on. I fell back and my head hit the ground hard. I saw my grandmother and the little kitten. Maybe I was dead. And then, I faded into darkness. When I opened my eyes, I was in a hospital, surrounded by Mrs. Edwards and Ivy.
What happened? Why am I here?
Oh, thank God you're awake. You hit your head and fell into a coma, Lily? It took us days to find you. What were you thinking, running away like that?
I heard you and Ivy the night I left, and you said that you were going to talk to the warden. I didn't want to go back to the orphanage, so I ran away before you could send me.
What? We weren't talking about the orphanage. Mom was saying she talked to the jail warden about arranging a visit. I guess I should start from the beginning.
It turned out that Ivy had a brother named James, who was 8 years older than me and currently in prison.
James got involved with a bad group of friends in college and eventually got caught in a major drug trafficking case. He was sentenced to life in prison, and he was transferred to a prison here, right across from the cemetery. So we moved back here.
And the rumors about the guests disappearing?
Just our competitors' tricks to give us a bad reputation.
And those stolen things?
We stole them because I wanted to save up to get some really good lawyers. Those who can help him may be granted leniency. Mom and Dad didn't have any money.
Also, some time ago, I saw you two on the rooftop flashing some lights.
We were sending James a birthday message using Morse code. He can see the lights from her prison window.
Why didn't any of you tell me all this?
I just hadn't felt ready to share it. I was getting there, though. You're the first person I've gotten close to since James. And even though I stole that stuff from school, I swear I didn't steal that girl's diamond necklace at the party.
We should have been honest with you, Layla. But we get judged a lot already. And I understand if you don't want to live with us anymore. We can help you look for a better family.
No, I'm not going anywhere. I like my weird, secretive family. As long as I'm in on all the secrets, too.
You know those stories about the sons and daughters of famous people? Well, that's not my story. I mean, I am the daughter of an Oscar-winning actress, yes, but my story is far crazier. My name is Layla, and I live in a huge mansion in Beverly Hills with my mother. It had always been just the two of us. I never knew my dad, and Mom never spoke of him. I didn't have siblings because Mom said pregnancy ruined her perfect body once, and there was no way on earth she would let that happen again. But Mom was delighted to have me. You see, I had my perks. I was a beautiful baby. So much that by the time I was 3, Mom had me cast hundreds of ads and made sure my face was everywhere. Magazines, TV commercials, formula, even diapers. But I didn't care much for it. On my 4th birthday, my mom woke me up.
Honey, wake up. We're about to be late for the photo session.
Mommy, I don't want any more photos. I want to watch Cinderella. It's my birthday.
Cinderella is poor and filthy. You have nothing to learn from her.
We did not watch Cinderella, but while Mom was super proud that I had started my career so early, I just thought feeling lucky was a pretty crummy feeling. I was always tired and so bored. We were always traveling, and Mom only paid attention to me to explain how important beauty creams and lotions were. Once I asked her to read me a bedtime story, and and she laughed and tossed the book aside and said,
"Oh, sweetie stories are for dumb, ugly kids. You need to know how much more important it is to start using this lotion early."
I wasn't even 5 yet. Mom decided that I should be homeschooled since my schedule was tight and there was no room for school. But by the time I was just 6 years old, I started to try to learn about creams and beauty processes. Because when I didn't, Mom stopped talking to me and ignored me. The first time I tried a DIY face mask, my mother was thrilled.
I knew you weren't dumb.
I was so happy with her attention that by 7, I was practically professional. I knew everything there was to know about beauty, and trust me, I knew a lot. Day creams, night creams, shower creams, stringent lotions, and flowers. So many flowers. We lived in a pretty big house, and Mom and I had started cultivating all these flowers when I was 8. By the time I was 12, it was hard to distinguish which part was the greenhouse. Mom loved flowers and was always talking about how pretty I would look because of them.
You'll look like a flower too.
I was so curious that I tried to add some flowers to my plate, but Mom wasn't the only one obsessed with beauty. And once she finally allowed me to go to school, I began to realize everyone was obsessed with beauty. Not only was I famous, but I was also a living encyclopedia of DIY beauty hacks. So obviously, every girl wanted to be my friend. One day, they all started to beg me to take them home.
We'd love to see where you live.
I was thrilled I'd never had any friends over, but as soon as we got home, they ran to Mom and said,
"Oh my God, we thought we'd never see you."
Adopt me so I can be as pretty.
My mother was delighted with my new friends. She turned to me and said,
"At least you're smart enough to be friends with the right kind of girls."
Then she spent hours talking about flowers and beauty. Pretty soon, I realized that I didn't have any real friends. Everyone just liked me so they could be beautiful. I talked about flowers at home. I talked about flowers at school. I was beginning to lose my mind. Luckily, around that time, Mom took me to the Cannes Festival. That's when my entire life changed. We went to see an art exhibition of this famous artist and the paintings. That was a whole new world for me. And suddenly, I realized I wanted to do that. I wanted to paint flowers. I immediately signed up for art class at school. I became obsessed with it. A few years of practice, and I was getting really good at it. It was my hiding place because my friends just wanted to drag me to the mall all the time.
You're so lucky to have your mom. Mine doesn't understand anything about beauty or fashion. She lives in flip-flops.
Oh gosh, don't even get me started on mine. She doesn't even know what a primer is. But now, I started to care even less about fashion, and that translated to my clothing quite quickly. One day, we were walking through Rodeo Drive, and my mom looked uncomfortable. I was enjoying a greasy bagel.
Honey, people are staring at you.
So,
You're not even wearing makeup.
she stopped walking and looked at me desperately.
You look ugly.
I realized we were in front of the beauty salon. I sighed, and we got in. It was still nice to share a moment with my mom from time to time. This was the only place where she was really happy.
Layla, it's been so long since the last time you were here.
The shop owner put on her glasses and scanned my face closely.
Oh, that porcelain skin. No makeup at all and still perfect. It reminds me of your mom's younger days.
My mom looked at her annoyed and didn't smile again. Throughout the entire day, I got the impression that something changed beside her. After that, she became more obsessed with creams and lotions and makeup and fashion, and the day I said, "I want to go to art school when I graduate," she snapped.
That beautiful body of yours is not going to last forever, you know. Do you know how lucky you are to have inherited my genes? All your friends would kill to be in your place.
Maybe. I don't care about beauty or fashion. Maybe I don't care about your stupid creams. You seem to like my friends more than me, so why don't you throw me to the street and adopt them?
Oh, honey, they are not even half as pretty as you are.
I went to my art studio and continued to paint. Mom followed me and looked at all my pieces with disgust.
There's no future in the art world, honey. You should take advantage of your beauty while it lasts.
Like you did. It doesn't look like it worked.
What are you talking about, you little brat? Look around you. How do you think I got all this? You really think you'll get all this with those stupid drawings?
I don't care if I get all this. I never cared for any of this. All I ever wanted was to be with you. Mom rolled her eyes and said,
Drama, drama, drama.
I wasn't going to leave my dream aside, so I applied to every university in the country that had a good art program. My mom looked at my computer monitor from behind and said,
I'm not paying for this nonsense.
I don't need your money. My art will speak for me. I received acceptance letters from 6 different universities. High school was finally coming to an end, and I would probably choose the one with more miles between it and my home. I felt invincible and free. But when I got home that afternoon, not only was my mom not there, but all my paintings were gone. I started panicking. I needed my work for university. I had over 50 pieces. Where the hell were they? my phone started to buzz with hundreds of messages. Your mom is so awesome! I didn't know your mom was such a gifted painter. Your mom rocks and emoticons everywhere. Mom, a pain. I saw a picture of my mother with all my paintings, and behind her the Place National Museum of the Fine Arts. I jumped into an Uber and rushed there. There were photographers everywhere.
There she is, it's her daughter.
And blinded me with her flashes. I saw my mother waving at me and smiling. That which she came to me and said to the reporters,
My beautiful daughter, isn't she beautiful? She's always there for me.
For you! You stole my art! She stole my art! The flashes stopped for a moment, and then my mother started laughing. Everyone laughed too and followed her back inside. You will not get away with this! But it was too late. I was alone. I went back home and directly to my now empty art studio. I got a message on my phone. It was a video of me shouting at reporters. It went viral in an instant. The very next day at school, everyone was looking at me like a freak. I heard their laughs and whispers. I went to the art room. It had been my refuge for years now. I felt like an imposter.
What's wrong, honey?
I looked around and saw my art teacher. She must not have seen the video before. Before I knew it, I had broken into tears. My mom stole all my art. I felt helpless.
No, she didn't. She didn't steal these ones. And I have you on video.
What?
I always feel my students. It's for academic purposes.
She handed me a tape with a smile. I looked at it for a moment. I was so angry. I thought of taking it directly to the news. But then I thought of my mother. This would ruin her.
This is your art, your life. Don't let anyone take that away from you. Fight for it.
And so I did. I went to the news and gave them the tape and explained everything. And that too went viral. And it did ruin my mother. I didn't want to see her again, but I had no choice. I went home and saw her sitting in the dark, but that woman wasn't my mother. The container was the same, but her spirit was gone. I felt awful. She looked at me and said,
You did the right thing.
She had tears in her eyes, huh?
I got scared.
What?
You're leaving for college? You have your whole life ahead of you. I'm so proud of you, but I don't know how to live without you. I got scared.
Oh, Mom, I'm not going anywhere. I already decided to go to USC. It's 10 minutes away. Okay, yes, that was a lie. The night after she stole my work, I wanted to go as far away from her as possible. But then, I realized I don't need to leave her to paint. I can do that from anywhere. I was happy on my first day of college. USC was huge. Some people knew who my mother was, but nobody knew me. And that was okay. A few months later, I did my first art exhibition, and it was a huge success. I sold all my paintings, and my mom was there for me. She stole a few flashes, but I was happy to know that now we could share time without any makeup or fashion involved.